What's going on, guys? We are live. It's your boy Reed Dudley of the Youthsportscenter. Grid News and Information. Grid News and Information presents YSC The Show. I'm here with co-host Rich Curry. Please, guys, go check out his Facebook page, show host Rich. He is going to be helping out today. We are going to be talking about some things, guys, that need to be talked about in the community. We are also going to highlight some kids that need to be highlighted and talked about. But today we are going to start off the show on a sadder note. We want to say rest in peace to a great friend of ours, Mr. Michael Murphy, who Mike Murphy was a part of the very first CIF National Championship team. You know, we getting ready to pause this real quick. Yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not. No. So pretty much what it is, we want to say rest in peace, Mike Murphy. We also lost a friend yesterday, Travis Lewis, last night to a shooting. It's got to stop somewhere, folks. The violence in the communities nationwide that we're putting onto each other is at an all-time high. We need to do something within the community. We need to do something within each other, within the media sources, within the organizations. It's time to stop working against each other and everybody start working together. Me and Rich Curry, that's what our collective agreement is that Athletic Initiative, his nonprofit organization that I've seen for the past 6 or 7 years do great things within the community, lacks this community support. And right now, guys, that is the main important thing, is the support of the community. We can't choose. You want to choose who you want to like. You know, everybody wants to pick their favorites or wants to pick somebody that they've been following or somebody maybe that they, starlighted. And I brought Rich in today to talk about Athletic Initiative, to talk about the Increase the Peace, to talk about Toys for Tots, to talk about what Athletic Initiative has been doing in the Southeast community for the past 7 to 8 years. And we don't have the news stations aren't running out and running to all these events. I just got word today that Norman Powell, an NBA superstar from the Toronto Raptors, will be coming in on the show August 4th to speak his piece about what's been going on in the community of San Diego, the lack of support there is. This is a young man who had his draft party here in San Diego, and there were no media sources to cover that. I actually was not here. We were in Arizona at the time, or else I would have been directly at that. So we got to do something, Rich, as a community. It's time to stop just, playing around with it and thinking that, this is a problem that's going to go away. Maybe there'll be some superhero that'll come through with a cape and come save the day. We need more of our athletes that are playing in big-time sports in big-time places. We need them to come back. We need you guys to come back and be super effective. Like what Reggie Bush did last week at Helix was super effective. He was very involved into everything that was going on. Me and Reggie fighting over the mic. Give me the mic, Reggie. Give me the mic, Reggie. But Reggie Bush definitely came down and put his staple on what was going on here in San Diego. And we're asking all the other athletes to do the same thing. And we're asking San Diego also at this point in time, I need you guys to treat your athletes better, okay? We need you to treat the legends here better. The Achilles Smiths, the Archie Amersons, the guys who did it. They get a tough time sometimes with the people in the community, not backing everything they're doing. And these are guys who are top 3 draft picks and guys who won Walter Payton Awards and things like that. I mean, we just lost Rashawn Salam, a Heisman Trophy winner, a couple years ago. Let's give our heroes and our legends the flowers while they could still smell them. Mike Murphy was a legend in the community. Like I said, he was on the very first CIF team from Morris High School, 1969, with a superstar running back by the name of Greg Day. Another pillar in the community was Dr. Charlie Carmichael, who also played opposite side corner of Mike Murphy. We've also lost him also within the past couple of years. He was a dentist in the community who raised 3 dentists who went to Spelman and Morehouse and who are now dentists in Texas with the Medicare, helping people who need the help. So there are people from our community that are doing things all over. We need to start working together to expand that. I'm gonna sit back right now, and I want everybody to really soak in what was just said. You know, the community needs to bond together, and it needs to happen now. It doesn't. You know, we have a platform right here, Rich, for kids to come in and speak about youth sports, to speak about the games they play in, to show their highlights and things like that. And we need parents beating down the doors to get these kids these opportunities so they can get seen more, so they can talk about what they're talking. It's not about how anybody else feels. It's not about adult feelings. And I think sometimes within youth sports, adult feelings they play too big of a part. And this is for the kids. What Reed Dudley does is for the kids. Let me expose everybody a little bit. My real name is Christopher Reed Dudley. So Reed Dudley is a show name that I came up with the Performing Arts School here in San Diego, and I wanted to reach the kids. I wanted my name to be quicker. Everybody hates Chris. So I switched it up to Reed, and it's been funny and it's been fun to get it out there. But this is about community building. Mike Murphy took me out to the Morris High School field when Morris was perennially the best football team in high school team in the country, with Gary Taylor and Teddy Lawrence and Archie Amerson and Glenn Steele and Moose, and Conan Smith, guys like that impacted the way I thought about sports. The Youthsportscenter was actually created then, watching those guys being on those sidelines. And so thank you to those guys who continue to impact and be positive in my life and telling me to keep pushing the Youthsportscenter, Archie Akili and Conan and guys like that, and Rich, who was also a star running back himself here at Christian. Rich, I'm going to let Rich speak a little bit about the dynamics of what's been going on in the community, Rich. Rich is the one who's been in charge. Him and Jeff Harper Harris have been in charge of the Increase the Peace Classic here in San Diego. They want to increase the peace. They want to stop the guns. Tell us a little bit more about that, Rich, and why you decided that Increase the Peace was the way to go for you as you started your nonprofit. And let's be honest right now, because there's not a lot of businesses. They run around and everybody's saying that they're nonprofit organizations, but not everybody's a nonprofit organization. Rich Curry and Athletic Initiative are an actual, legitimate, nonprofit, international, educational nonprofit organization here in San Diego. So let's talk about legitimacy. Let's talk about being real. Let's talk about what the community really needs to come together, and not the playing around with. We're just playing with people's lives at this point. If we're not taking these kids' lives and putting them first, then we're playing. I think some coaches and people think it's a joke. I just lost a mentor. I went up to Skyline Park a couple weeks ago just to talk to Mike Murphy and talk about using the parks and facilities. And he was so proud that I came up there to do it. He called my dad. And, Dudley, your boy came out here asking for the park, And to have my dad's not somebody who's really super involved with what I do, And to have him call and say, hey, man, my homies is calling asking about you, it was big for me, So thank you, Mike Murphy. Rest in love. Rest in love, TA. Let's talk more about Increase the Peace and where you came up with that, Rich. I'm going to take a time also. I'm going to let Rich have this, and Rich is going to talk. I'm going to step away for just a moment.
So, hello, Facebook world. We're live here in beautiful San Diego, California. We're here at the Microsoft store in Fashion Valley. It doesn't get much better than this. This time of day, everyone has a smile on their face, and they're in their element, either walking around enjoying the mall, or obviously here in the Microsoft store taking in some of the new innovative technology that they have to offer. My partner over here dropped some heavy stuff just now. He said a lot. That was a mouthful, by all means of the term. Let me just start with a couple of things. In regards to the Increase the Peace Classic, that was a Jeff Harper Harris event. He started doing that at the Jackie Y the first couple of years before I got involved. And, once we acquired our nonprofit status, which is 501c3 for public benefit, nonprofit educational organization, international educational organization. And I thought the first step is getting behind an event like that. The whole premise, the reason why we do it with the anti-gang, anti-drugs, saying no to domestic violence, having guest speakers that talk about the things that happen both nationally and locally and even statewide on the level as far as legislation and public and police relationships and lines of communication and building bridges. That's an event, the Increase the Peace Classic, that brings all those things to a head, and they meet at a four-way stop. And you have an opportunity, at least on that day, to talk about the real subjects, to see the real faces, to see the people from the different communities that come together. And we take that bridge of communication for that day, and we use it for a completely positive purpose where there's no monetary compensation, there's no awards given. Well, there are some community service awards given to people in the community that have taken some time to give back, or organizations that have done so. But in regards to the basketball being played with the kids from different parts of the community, we formed these teams from kids all around the city. North Park, North County, South Bay, El Cajon, East County, all the way to the beach areas. People come to attend this event. And the whole premise is that in the morning, we all gather, you listen to the guest speakers. One year we had Mr. Stacy Butler. We've had the district attorney. We've had authors. We've had motivational speakers. We've had people from all walks of life, athletes. Norman Powell spoke last year, and he's our big guy who played in it. Went to Lincoln High School, UCLA, graduated in the NBA, and now he comes back and he attends our event, plays in our event, and he's the face of it. He shows you that you have an opportunity to make it out of these areas that they say is bad. They say around Lincoln High School, all you see on the news are stories about this happened, this person got shot, this fight and that. I graduated from Lincoln High School, all right? I transferred there in my senior year, and Mr. Nice Kendall Webb decided to deny my transfer paper going from private to public, so he didn't let me play for my grandfather, who was Dick Curry, a baseball coach with Coach Hanula over at Lincoln High School, and I transferred over from Christian with the hopes of playing for my grandfather. But it didn't happen, but nevertheless, I was happy I made the switch, at least for the latter part of my senior year, and Lincoln was an experience that I'll never forget. It was fantastic. I thought it was a tremendous school. With the community tightly knit around the school in support of the students, especially when you're embattled, when other parts of the city and other media outlets don't see your school in a positive light, you have to do all you can to batten down the hatches and support yourself. So that's kind of the environment, and you saw that with the incidences that have happened at Lincoln, how the community and the students kind of rally around one another and kind of push back to say, no, you're not going to create this perception that everybody here is a negative person or a gang member or somebody that has some negative components to put back into the community. And actually it's the opposite. There's only a couple of bad apples in the bunch, but the negative things are the only things that the media seems to run to in regards to that area. But we have some fantastic things, like the Jackie Robinson YMCA that just got rebuilt. Mr. Brunker is the consummate politician and the consummate fundraiser, making that one of the greatest facilities in California, if not the United States. And, you know, that guy's iconic for bringing something that can do so much good in an area where there's always turbulence or perceived as being turbulent. So just so many things. And so we're just going to touch a couple today and talk about some of these things. Now, from an athletic initiative perspective, there's the Increase the Peace Classic. There's the Toys for Kids Challenge, where we actually raise money, gift cards, and wrap toys for homeless and group home kids. We'll select different group homes, and then we'll give the toys and the gift cards over to people who are far less fortunate during the holidays. The Toys for Kids, the Toys for Tots challenge kind of touches on Thanksgiving and Christmas, kind of 2 in 1, because it's in between the two. And the premise is this. I wish Jeff was here. He had a prior engagement, so he wasn't able to come in and talk about this. But you register your team with, I think it's like $50, and then you have like every kid has a wrap toy, and then so each team donates a collection of toys with a little bit of money or gift cards or whatnot. The entry fee for the Toys for Tots challenge is like $3 and a wrap toy, and so all the resources that we collect, both from the snack bar, the money, the toys, the gift cards, all go to the organizations that we select for that year to help those children that may not have either food or toys or clothes or whatnot. Everybody can have some sort of item given to them on the holidays. And for a child, I don't know how you felt, but when I was 10, 9, 7, 8, Christmas was Thanksgiving were everything to me. The toys I got from grandma and just the anticipation of getting something. I couldn't imagine not getting a toy on Christmas, or maybe not having a meal on Thanksgiving. Now, I'm not saying that those are perfect holidays. I'm not saying that they're for everyone, but I'm saying that if you celebrate those things and having those elements attached to those times do so much to create who you are, and it teaches us love and kind of dabs us into the spirit of giving, doing something greater than ourselves, giving to others who may be less fortunate. We've become a society of people that want that instant swipe and satisfaction, and we don't care about the next people. We'll judge them, but compassion and nurturing and caring has kind of fell off the board, especially with the millennials. They're in their box and on their thing, and even my generation, the X generation, we're kind of that way too, going solo for yourself. And I think that if we were to utilize some cooperative economics between one another, as well as positive bridges of communication, we can make some changes. I'm not saying we're going to change the world or make everything perfect, but definitely there can be some more teamwork, because if you want any dream to work, a little bit of teamwork can get you there. So there are many more things we have to talk about. I just want to touch on a little bit. We don't need any guilt trips. It's all about enlightenment, coming together and turning up in the right way so we can have some insight, be more intellectual about our discussion, and take it to a place that will help us find some positive components to add into the situation. Rich Curry, co-host, Youthsportscenter. Turn up or turn it off.
You're watching the Youthsportscenter. You're watching the Youthsportscenter.
Boy Pucho, we out here in San Diego with the Youthsportscenter. My man Reggie Bush. Yo, doing a real big with the youth. We got a football campus you see behind me, Reggie's high school. We got a lot of energy. We having fun. It's a great cause. Yo, it's about the kids, guys. So make sure you guys support Youthsportscenter. Pucho in the building. Check me out on Showtime's Ray Donovan, season 5, and whatever else I got coming out. If you're not watching this, you're losing.
You're losing.
Live right now, y'all. Youthsportscenter, greatness allowed. We've been following this young man since about the 7th, 8th grade. Now he's the top quarterback at Helix High School Carson Baker, baby. What's going on, Carson? Now, Carson, what you got to tell the Youth Sports Center kids that's out there, man, that we focused on when they little? I try to tell these parents and tell them that you got to get with the Youth Sports Center so you can get more highlights, get yourself more information, get your name out there.
Yeah, hey, Youth Sports Center, best in the business, man. Covering all youth sports, Los Toros the best, though.
Yeah. You know he had to throw that shot out there. You know he had to throw the Los Toros shot out there. Shout out Carson Baker, former Los Toros quarterback, now Helix High School quarterback, CIF championship. They looking for it, baby. This your boy Reed Dudley. You know we grew up in Skyline, but we still up here at Helix. Turn it up, Carson Baker, baby.
Watching the Youth Sports Center.
Turn up, Calvin Johnson, baby. Hey, how you guys doing? And we're back right here at the Youth Sports Center, Grid News Information. I'm Reed Dudley. This is Rich Curry. We talked about some pretty important issues. We said farewell to a couple friends last segment, and we also talked about community building. We're going to stay on that community building part because I think, Rich, for the kids, I think some of the I'm just going to say people involved. Maybe you're involved for the wrong reasons. Maybe they're involved for self-loathing reasons. Maybe they're involved because it makes themselves feel good. I don't think not everybody is involved for the push of the kids. And the reason why I say that is because some of the stuff that's shared, some of the stuff that's put out there, it's put out there and it's a price on it. Yeah. We're not putting a price on our shares or our likes or anything like that. But what we do ask is that you do share and that you do like it, because what we're doing essentially is for the kids. And we want the kids to be able to say, hey, my coach or my mom or my dad, they're sharing my stuff. Find a media guy that you're good with and push it out in a professional way. There's a professional way to do everything. These kids are now trying to be looked at, and now that these colleges are coming in and the professional companies like Nike and Under Armour are now starting to get into these things with the kids at a youth level, it can't be trashy anymore. We have to go away with the trashy side of it, and we have to turn up into more of the business side of it. It's a time where we can't play around with stuff just because we want things to be a certain way for so long. We have to learn how to take things to another level and build them in a positive way. So you take your businesses, and I see a lot of the businesses out there right now that are doing their things, the AGs, the under the radars, they're putting themselves out there and they're making it happen. And we appreciate you guys, the bleachers, the hard count athletics. We appreciate what you guys are doing, the positivity and everything else like that you're putting out for the kids. Let's continue that realm of doing that. Let's working together and us building and growing. Shouts out right now to our sponsor, Sarku right here in Fashion Valley Mall. They definitely hook it up. They bring us in here some nice food so that we can munch on while we're doing this. Shouts out to Global Tax Empire. Go check out a lady down there named Tina. Tina is a very good lady also. Global Tax Empire is located in the Lemon Grove area. Please give Tina your love, when you're out there. She does really good with taxes. You guys go down there and check it out. Her son is also Rossi the Boss. Ross, one of the top-rated youth football players in the country right now as an 8th grader. And, it's getting there. So, Rich, what I wanted to ask you is, you deal a lot in baseball, what do we need to do here as a community here in San Diego to be more positive for the youth, and so it's not so much of, oh, I don't like that parent or I don't like that media guy, so I don't want to work with them, or I don't want them to push my son, or I don't want, when does it go away from that, and when does it really get back to where it really matters with the kids?
Interesting that you say that, my friend. Let's look at it this way. When you have programs, as we do, and you run different programs in different sports like soccer, basketball, baseball, you have some pee-wee sport programs for 3 to 5 year olds and things of that nature, you're not always going to be best friends with their parents. They're not always going to be good people. They may not always be educated people. They may be overeducated so that their education gets in the way of their common sense. Their economic status may get in the way of their ability to see others as equals, but yet they still want their child to have an experience. So you have to put to the side your personal feelings and my expectations of the adults. I don't have any expectations of the adults because I expect the adults to learn from the children and the lessons that they learn and take home and discuss with their parents. We have to kind of install an inverted way of learning in regards to our coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms, to me, give us the ability to handle certain things, the ability to stay patient and think before we react, give us the ability to stave off irrational, impulsive, negative responses to things rather than taking a second, think, digest what you've heard or what's happened, and then what you reverberate will be something that brings a little bit of enlightenment or some intro or retrospect to that situation. Now, that's not something that people like to do because then usually when you point that finger, look, there's 3 more pointed at me. So you have to be able to first find the fault within yourself before you can look outside of yourself. Before I elaborate, I know you want to say something, so I'm going to volleyball this back to you before we get all the way into it.
Elaborate on that. A couple weeks ago, I got a call from a coach trying to get a kid from San Diego to go play in another place. And the call was antagonistic. You don't, as grown men, we don't do that. I'm a media guy. I'm 35 years old. I've been doing this since I was about 11 years old and working with the kids. I've been coaching since I was about 16. I got Boo Gist out there with Full Speed who just dropped an album. I used to coach Boo out there, you know what I mean? And now he kicks it with Wiz Khalifa, and I coached him when he was about 16, when I was about 16 years old. So I've been involved in youth sports ever since I was in high school. So when you get calls like that where it's like, oh, I want this kid on my team, or can this kid come play on my team? And then the coach gets mad or agitated because it didn't go his way. And to the credit, Rich Curry was on the call also and got to hear, what Reed Dudley gets to go through sometimes with some of the coaches and some of the people that are involved in the youth sports who then go out and try to, put out, oh, we're doing this, or oh, hey, we're doing this. And the whole thing about it is that we're supposed to be working together for the kids, not calling grown men to antagonize them and do all this. I mean, if your coaching speaks for itself, you should have championship trophies at your house, period. There needs to be a rhetoric. It needs to be more, if we want our businesses to be respected as businesses, we need to conduct ourselves as businessmen. From now on, this is not a joke anymore. These kids' lives aren't a joke to me. I stay up till very late in the morning looking at videotapes, talking with kids who are hitting me up from different parts of the world who want to talk about youth sports. And that's what this is about. It's about giving these kids an avenue, folks, and that's what we want to do. Rich, is anything else? We got the shine chasers. It's a lot that goes into this that creates that type of atmosphere. Where do you see this going?
In our new era of exposure through social media, the phenomenon began with football. Getting the exposure, showing your plays, hyping your team up, hyping yourself up was kind of the way this all started when my man right here began going to youth football games and putting the videos out. He started this whole phenomenon, okay? I don't do football. I do European football with King Sasha and the Escondido Football Club. We do that type of football. What's up to King Sasha The English Beat, yeah, this is the show. King Sasha will be in here as a guest, and he'll talk about what he does with the youth up in Escondido and North County. And believe me, they can play some soccer or football up in North County, and we're going to bring him down here, and we're going to talk about that. We'll be starting that down here, Escondido Football Club South with King Sasha. You better believe it. But on to, I don't want to ramble on about that. In regards to coaches becoming shine chasers, youth football coaches thinking that they can create a career or maybe get some sort of recognition behind themselves for coaching football. And it almost becomes like a meat market when I see a lot of these young kids being used year-round, playing tackle year-round, then training for tackle year-round, putting their bodies, all these miles on their bodies rather than playing multiple sports, getting new experiences and kind of shaping their minds to be able to think in different situations. The reason why a lot of us played sports is because it formed who we are as people, our ability to think under adversity, get along with others, have teamwork, build bridges, compete, stand across from another person's child, compete with them for a purpose, and work with others to accomplish a goal. Football is fantastic for that because it brings kids together to play. But their mindsets, what they get from it, what they ingest from some of the coaches that are supposed to be leaders, teaching these young men how to grow from adversity, sometimes goes awry. And I just sit back and watch. And it's kind of disgusting the things I hear and what I see in regards to them wanting to be about them rather than the kids. It becomes like a Division I college football thing where they're just getting kids in and out and they're pieces of meat. Well, guess what? Fathers like me and people with kids are not going to let our kids become tools of recognition for coaches. We want the kids to get the experiences, evolve as people, and come away better people from their experiences through sports and have better thought processes when it comes to how they see others, how they treat others away from the field, away from practice, at school, their dedication to schoolwork, at home, respect with family and friends. All these things are extremely important, and sports are supposed to teach these lessons. That's where I learned how to be a governor. We all want to be judges, but first you got to be a governor of yourself. You got to govern your own actions and what you say and what you do to others. It makes a difference. So I'm going to send this back to him.
This past couple weeks, we have a player that was a star player we've been watching for a long time, Manuel Allen Hooks. We call him Choo Choo Allen, a guy we've followed for a couple years now. And, the kids like to have fun on the field. He caught a pass in the end zone and did a couple little shots at the guy. He caught it over, mossed the kid real quick. And the next thing you know, it was a problem. It started into a fight, and that stuff doesn't need to happen, and the media took it and ran with it and tried to paint a picture of a young man that we've been following, and we will not allow you to paint that kind of picture of. We just won't here at the Youthsportscenter. Manuel Allen will be attending Nebraska. Shout out to Keith Williams, the wide receiver coach out there, on knowing real talent when you see it, and knowing how to deflect the stuff that they get shot at them. These kids deal with a lot. It's a lot of pressure now in youth sports. We, as the Youthsportscenter, we want to be a place as like a pressure release. We want people to be like, and kids be able to come here and talk about what they want to talk about. If they don't like how things are going, then they don't like how things are going. We're going to be back here at the Youthsportscenter. We're getting ready to go to commercial, take a couple bites of something to eat, talk to our sponsors. Shout out to Alexander Lamar Photography. Shout out to Sports Moms, who we will be trying to get here on the screen here pretty soon, and talk to the owner of Sports Moms, Beth Jessup, about her partnership with the Youthsportscenter and how we're going to continue to grow. Like I said, shout out to Global Tax Empire also, and all those people that have put in to helping the Youthsportscenter become what it is today. Thanks a lot. Shout outs to the AYF and Snoop Dogg Football League and everybody else like that who's giving us opportunities to keep this thing going. Hey, Snoop Dogg, you got to come on to the show, man. You said when I get a show, you said you holla at me, Snoop. I got the show. You come holla at me, bruh. We'll be back, guys. Youthsportscenter. Greatness loud.
Under the Radar Sports Media, the hottest sports videos in the nation.
Turn up, man!
Thank NFL Flag San Diego for another awesome season, and you're watching Youth Sports Center. Just want to thank NFL.
What's going on right now, guys? We are back right now. This is the Youth Sports Center Grid News and Information's version presents YSC the show. I'm here with international nonprofit, educational nonprofit organization runner Rich Curry. It's a family run. They are getting going. Rich, about athletic initiative and what it's been doing in the community. We already talked about the Increase the Peace. Every December, they do something called Toys for Tots also. And it's a basketball event where they get teams to come in, rec league teams to travel ball teams, and they get to come in to play against each other. There's some requirements that is needed to play in a game. And Rich, what are those requirements to play in that Toys for Tots Classic that is for the neighborhood? And why did you start it?
Well, actually, it differs from the Increase of Peace because the Increase of Peace happens to be individual players that register, all-star players. Then we make teams of every age bracket and play exhibition games throughout the day. We have a DJ. I'm on the microphone for 8 hours. This year, Mr. Dudley will be there with me, and we'll be spending the time on the mic. But there's community vendors there with their booths and selling their items. There's food, and people come to watch the games and see the different players play together for an event that's to be in support of nonviolence, anti-domestic violence, anti-drug and gang awareness, and things like that. And people come to attend. It's a beautiful event. It goes from, I believe, 9 a.m., and we stop about 7 p.m. There's about 12 games throughout the day when we can get them all in, all the way from the 5 and 6 year olds all the way up to high school elite gold. Now, the Toys for Kids Challenge is actually a fundraiser and a community event where we raise gift cards, money, and wrap toys, and we select group homes, and we select organizations that help homeless children, and then we also give a portion of the toys to the Jackie Robinson to their Christmas benefit that they have every year. They have people from the Jackie Robinson service area come, and they get to select toys from whatever age bracket their toys are in. They'll walk down the line, get toys, and for a lot of kids, that's their Christmas. Shout out to Jeff Harper, who took the year I was on varsity coaching with him, varsity basketball. We took the JV and the senior and the varsity, and we went down to the Jackie Y, and we handed out toys to kids. We went downtown across from Petco Park in that big parking lot where there were so many homeless kids, and we handed out lunches and food and resources, and we taught our boys a lesson about giving and community sharing, which was very important to boys to see people in plight, kids.
Yeah, and it's good that there's companies out like what Rich is doing to make these things happen like that for the kids out there, because it's important to still keep your ear to the street and what's going on and hear what these kids actually want and hear what these kids actually need. What I want to know, Rich, is with everything going on right now and the community building and it being a thing. When you get the kids together, kids aren't playing baseball anymore. And kids from our neighborhood definitely aren't playing baseball anymore. I believe there's 8% of African Americans playing baseball in the United States of America. And we're talking about, Barry Bonds being the leader in home runs, regardless of what you say. And Tony Gwynn being one of the greatest batters of all time. We've now started to go away from a sport that takes you from high school to the pros, and have been coached out of it, Now it's time to start rebuilding it. And what me and Rich Curry are going to be doing is we're bringing an urban team to baseball. That's just what we're going to be doing. We want the kids in the urban areas to start picking up baseball again. We also have a couple events that are going to be picked up with that brings more community awareness to baseball. And things of that nature. Rich, what I want to understand is right now within the community, we have a lot of schools. They come in to our neighborhoods and they grab the kids, right? They grab the kids and they take them to the private schools, and then we're having the players that I don't know if they're so certain of wanting to come back because they're able to, go out, and it's almost like you forget about it, So I'm challenging everybody who does camps, football players, baseball players. I'm challenging you not just for you to come out. Reggie Bush did something that you're going to have to top. Hard Count Athletics, they did something you're going to have to top. Don't come out here anymore with regular camps. Come out here and bring your friends, the other athletes that are involved with you. Get them to dive in to start helping out with these kids. Just don't let it be by yourself. Reggie Bush came down here with Megatron. Calvin Johnson, who's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer Andre Reed showed up. Lance what's his name? Lance Moore from the championship New Orleans Saints was there. Sproles showed up. Darren was there. It was a lot. It was a star-studded event for the kids, and we need more of that. We need more of that for the kids in every community, not just San Diego. I'm talking about the Chicagos and the Washington, D.C.s, and there needs to be more of an outcry with bigger businesses helping the community and what they're doing. It's enough is enough already. Everybody wants to talk about what's going on in the community, but what are you doing to affect it? What are you doing to positively affect the kids in a way that's taking them out of the community and making it to where they can do something else? And if you are doing it, and you might be doing it silently or quietly, well, don't do that anymore, because there's youth media companies who would love to see what these kids are doing, just like when Floyd Mayweather gave 300 tickets to the Gators a couple years ago to go watch his fight. You know, that was awesome. You know, we need more things like that happening in the community for the kids. Reggie Bush's team called, and they gave us about 50 free tickets to go to his camp. And I'm pretty sure Norman Powell is getting kids in for the low also. I believe it's a free camp. So with all this going on, Rich, and I want to know, you know, Athletic Initiative is a nonprofit that the whole country needs to get behind, not just a community. How do we increase the peace nationwide, Rich? How do we turn our youth sports back into youth sports and not avenues to try to enhance people's egos? This is something that we need to do to help build it up for the kids. We took this time for the show today. We have some special guests coming within the next week. So we took this time in this show just to talk about these things. Rich, could you elaborate a little bit more for me, please?
Well, you know, it's a very controversial subject. Being a school teacher myself, I have to deal with some of the negative byproducts that these kids bring into the classroom from their interactions in their club sports environments. Some examples, the mind state that you have to encompass when you play in some youth football organizations turns you into somebody who uses anger and disrespect rather than the joy and competitive strategic principles of football to improve. And some club soccer, the attitudes, horrendous. I have to tell you right now, between 3rd and 7th grade, club soccer kids do each other in on my playground. Dirty slide kicks, spikes up. We don't have spikes on, but just the way they play and trying to emulate their stars, just you see the negativity in which the kids attempt to play from, trying to be like the people that they watch play their whatever sport. And they bring the professional level of aggression to their whatever their little environment is. So I have to say, I've had to say no soccer on playgrounds because it gets, the fights spill over into the classroom. Recess soccer ruins the whole day. And you have 4th graders going at each other's necks. And so learning how to compete, when to compete, learning how to communicate after you've played a match against someone and how to leave the match on the field and then switch over, because as you know, with youth sports, a lot of times it's Lord of the Flies, okay? You're in your reptilian side of your brain, and the left-hand side of your brain, it's me, I have to win. Well, how do you teach a kid how to turn that off from a competitive standpoint, especially kids that go deep into youth sports and are very successful? When do they have a switch? When do they become the sweet son or the student? When does that switch turn off, or are they always in their egotistical athletic persona that you have to be elite at the youth sports level? Yeah. And the social media exposure has driven kids to kind of blossom into these beings that are shine chasers. They chase the camera, chase the shine, rather than playing for the love of the sport, like how I did when I was a kid. I played everything under the sun. And a lot of us ended up being good at sports, but the communication you had to have to play in the different sports and communicate with the different coaches and communicate with the different kids that you cross paths with when your worlds collide, you have to find a way to digest the things that happen between both groups. And sometimes you come away with these adult-driven negative perceptions of kids. And kids sometimes don't let those perceptions go. How do they evolve beyond the negative perceptions that they take from the adults that are doing this for their own self-misogynistic reasons? Okay, and youth sports, it should genuinely be for the benefit of the kids, and you're a role model, you're a teacher, you're a mentor, and some facets of life, you're an uncle, you're a chef, a restaurateur, taking kids to get meals. Jeff Harper Harris doing so many different things that the effects, the biorhythms that the kids are affected by are going to take them in one direction. A coach can build their kids to have evolved thoughts of teamwork and communication, or they can be combative and have this perception of anything to win. All right? Kind of like how they say in the NFL, anything to win. You know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Well, in youth sports, if you're cheating, you're not trying to play the game. You're taking advantage of something before you even learn the ground rules and the fundamentals. So the coaching and everything comes from it, and the adults play a big part in that. What's your goal? What are you trying to teach? How do you want the kids to react? What do you want them to take from being with you for a half a year? Are you in support of the parents and the teachers, saying be good all the time, say good things, help old ladies across the street, all these old things that we joke about, or the things that need to happen with youth and sports? It should be used to create leaders or help people become good citizens at the least. All right, giving back. So when this slide this back.
And to elaborate a little bit more about what Rich is saying, if you have a kid who is interested in not just youth sports but media, into wanting to be in front of the microphone, or wanting to learn how to work a camera, or learning how to work social media in the eyes of a business standpoint, we have no problem bringing kids in and doing that. We actually have youth sports executives who are now getting ready to go to college. Moses Mooney, who was one of our very first youth sports executives, I believe he's going to Columbia. Congratulations, Moses. And we have Mikael Oliver, one of the very first Youthsportscenter executives also, who's going to San Diego State. So we'll be seeing a little bit more of you there, Mikael. He'll definitely be here, and they'll be coming on to the show before the year is up to talk about their football years and what they're doing. We had a chance to run into Isaac Taylor last week, a kid we've been following for years, and he spoke about the positivity of the Youthsportscenter, how it helped him in front of the cameras now as he runs a youth event, where he was at the Reggie Bush camp. He challenged Darren Sproles to a race. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where we're trying to. This isn't shine chasing. We want kids to come here. We want them to talk about their grades. We want them to talk about where they want to go in life. We want them to talk about the colleges that they want to go to, and what they have to go through as a young man or woman in life to compete. To make it out here. Some kids live a really tough lifestyle, guys, and we have to remember that, and we have to be that influence, that positive influence for some of those kids.
And shame on you to those youth baseball leagues that don't outwardly make parents aware of the scholarship opportunities that they have to play. If you didn't know, little leagues have a stipulation that leads them to afford free registration and play in little leagues. They don't offer it or talk about it, but it does exist. And so if you need assistance or in your little league and you want to play, you need to communicate with them and find out what's there for you. On the other hand of it, there's the RBI program, which is called the Reviving Baseball in the Inner Cities program, and it's 100% free. Okay? I'm the director of the league myself. Executive director of Athletic Initiative, does the scheduling and other stuff for RBI. But the premise of RBI is this. There's something called 10-7-3, okay? You get to bat 10 times, you fail 7 times, and you get 3 hits in baseball, you're a superstar. Okay, that's 7 times where you get to fail in baseball. No other sport affords you that luxury of failing 7 times in order to be great. Tony Gwynn hit a 394, okay? He failed 6 times out of 10 to be one of the greatest hitters in all time. All you have to do is fail 7 or 8 times, and you're fantastic, and you have the ability to grow and learn from your mistakes in baseball. Okay, this sport teaches young people how to fall down and get up and take the lessons learned from past mistakes and apply them to their next opportunities to have a positive outcome. It's very important, and kids have moved away from baseball in our communities, all the way from baseball and softball to where it's football, basketball, and track. Well, let me tell you this. When young people weren't allowed to play sports African American people, when we had a segregated society, we were only allowed to play baseball. You could congregate after church, go play a baseball game, and then head home. That was it. Weren't allowed to play basketball, no football, no track, no bowling, none of that. All right. I grew up on, and I'll just name a couple. Ozzie Smith, Gary Templeton, Dave Winfield, Reggie Jackson, J.R. Richards. I could, Sheffield, King Griffey. I could go on and on and on throughout my childhood, the baseball stars that I grew up watching. Jim Rice, just incredible. And the lessons I learned from the way those guys carried themselves in society. Some of the time, not all the time, but some of the time. And back in my day, baseball was, I saw so many reflections of myself, I had to play. I had to be it. And my grandfather, who was a umpire, actually led me to go that way. So the influences that you have can lead you to do certain things. My mother, Dorothea Stewart, used to help kids in the community, and now look what we did. We're just trying to be what doesn't exist in the community in regards to helping and giving programs. We'll be back with you. We have some more to touch on. This is a very interesting subject. There are a lot of opinions. Please send your opinions in. Any questions, send them into our Facebook page. We need the comments. Rather than talk about people being released from prison or who got shot, let's talk about youth sports. Let's talk about our kids. Let's talk about having coaches act right, teaching the right lessons, positive biorhythms, ethics, morals, fundamentals, mechanics. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about teaching those things instead of some coach always putting up his shirt because I won this and I won that, having their individual battles. It's too much in basketball, too much in football. It needs to stop. And baseball's money ball, and we're going to change that. RBI Baseball, YSC, Athletic Initiative. The league's free. Free jerseys, free registration, camps. You get Padre game tickets. That's the San Diego Padres RBI Baseball League every summer. We go from June to August. So your kids are playing through the dead weeks of the summer, months of the summer, learning lessons, being coached, having practices, and it's free equipment. I'll give them free baseball gloves, helmets, bats, gloves. You don't have to pay a cent because the whole goal is to keep the money in the parents' pockets and give your kids the ability to play the game, learn how to fail in the correct way, and build friends, have bridges of communication, and go away better people. That's what baseball can do for you. It can help you fail enough to where you'll appreciate the long way towards things, learning your lessons, okay, and looking at failure in the face and embracing failure in order to achieve success. My name is Rich Curry. This is my co-host, Reed Dudley. This is the Youth Sports Center. You can turn up or you can turn it off. We'll be back.
You're watching the Youth Sports Center, Greatness Allowed. Watching the Youth Sports Center, Greatness Allowed.
What's going on? I'm dabbing on them with Dobson. We got Travion Dobson right now. Look, I got hit this kid's highlight tape, guys, and I had to put it up. He played like Cam Newton, the boy off the chain. You know what I'm saying? He's a little guy with a lot of power. Just gonna check this boy out right here. He gonna get his gig on. We going right here. We're going to check out Mr. Dobson. There he is, big smiling, big shining. Harville Gaines. He's from the Carolinas. They play football out there. He a little bit different. That's him throwing a bomb. Watch him. That's another bomb. Boom. Oh, there you go. They be hating, but they broke, though. Hey, there you go. He leaned into it. Look at, hey, he's getting it. Look at him. He's getting it. Travion Dobson, get it. Good. Look at the take. Look at Rich. What are you seeing here? With the kids' takeoff speed. Watch him. I'm going to let you watch another one of the moves. What? Here we go. But kept it. QB. There you go. That's a no-no. Hey. Watch it. Whoop. This is hesitation. You see the footsteps he's making? Woo. Travion Dobson.
What I see here is vision, ball skills, and something that we called go-go juice back in the day. He drinks a bottle of the go-go juice, and this guy's out. He's extremely versatile, hard to bring down. He has big hands. He can palm the ball, and when he hits the sideline, he's outro, as you can see. As we said in the 80s, Audi 5000. So in the Carolinas, could not be finer. This guy can roll. So as we showcase another youth player, that's that southern speed this young man has. So a lot of great vision, gets through the hole quickly, and he makes a play. And he can also sling the pill. So this guy can go. Nice find, Reed Dudley. Nice find.
Dab on them Dobson, man. Dab on them Dobson is getting it in. Hey, there he is. This is what we like to do here at the Youthsportscenter, guys. It's all about highlighting these kids. This is his world right now. Dobson, you do what you can do, young man. We see you all the way from San Diego, man. We know what you're doing in the Carolinas, bro. We know you get it popping out there on the football field. Keep pushing, young man. One day we'll probably see you on a college field or probably getting paid for it, where people got to pay to watch you do this. That's the whole goal, bro. Keep your focus, man. Don't let the shine chasers get you, baby.
Young man, make sure you do your homework, brush your teeth, do what mama says, take that trash out, and always be a good example for others around you. Excellent, excellent. Sports Moms United. Beth, we're going to talk to you. We're going to call this wonderful woman up. She is the founder of Sports Mom United, Sports Moms. And let me tell you something about her. Bubbly, energy, innovative. She has insight, anything from recipes to dress codes for away games. Her site covers it. If you log on to Facebook and you go to Sports Moms United, anything you need for any sport in regards to things you want to talk about, to whipping up a quick energy food mix for your players, girls or boys, for whatever sport, she's the one. You really have to get a bar of this. There's just so many mamas that are involved in sports, and wouldn't you like your own place to conversate and get answers? This is the place. So Beth, get ready. We're going to give you a call. We're going to do something new here on the Youthsportscenter. We're going live on Facebook. We're going to call her on Messenger, and we're going to talk to her. All right? So get ready. Back in your seats. Grab a soda. Before we go out to break, I'm going to give a little quick shout-out to the teams from RBI baseball this year that have joined the RBI League. We have 17 teams in this year's league for the RBI program. And in the senior league, I want to welcome Chula Vista High School, the Chula Vista High School Green Sox. You know what? I have a long list. We'll wait when we get back. Youthsportscenter, turn up or turn down. We're going to get this straightened out. Technical difficulty. Beth, you better get ready. Talk to you in a second. We're out.
Just want to thank NFL Flag San Diego for another awesome season, and you're watching Youthsportscenter.
Boy Pucho, we out here in San Diego with the Youthsportscenter. My man Reggie Bush. Yo, doing a real big with the youth. We got a football campus you see behind me, Reggie's high school. We got a lot of energy. We having fun. It's a great cause. Yo, it's about the kids, guys. So make sure you guys support Youthsportscenter. Pucho in the building. Check me out on Showtime's Ray Donovan, season 5, and whatever else I got coming out. If you're not watching this, you're losing.
You're losing.
All right, what's going on here? We're back right now to Youth Sports Center, Greatness Allowed. This is YSC, the show, number 5. And on the big screen right now, we got Beth Jessup, okay? Beth is of Sports Moms. Show them the shirt, Beth. Show them the shirt. Show them the shirt, Beth. Sports Moms United. Sports Moms United. Now, Sports Moms United came about. I was talking to Beth. She said she wanted to do some great things. She said she wanted to do some big things within the community, you know. And I said, Beth, that's a great idea. We're thinking along the same lines. And she was like, Reed, I got it. She told me about Sports Moms United, and I said, this is great. We're going to take it. So Sports Moms United, guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with the moms to get out more of the information. The moms are working with us. Beth's all the way in Kansas. How we look like in Kansas, Beth?
It is hot here, but I got to tell you that Rich has got me so fired up with what he's talking about, because that is so much what Sports Moms United is all about. It's about raising a nutritionally fit, physically fit, and emotionally fit athlete. And sports moms are the real deal. We're in there. We're the ones packing the lunches, packing the car for their trips. And man, I'm just so excited to be part of this. Reed, you have something very special here, and I'm just so excited to be partnering with you guys to help the sports moms.
Well, that's what this is all about. Sports Moms is about doing just big things. We're going to take it to another level. We need all the moms out there to support. If you're a sports mom, or if you have a kid that plays sports and you're a mom, you need some support, some help, extra meal plans. Beth has extra ways you can make little snacks and stuff like that, little goodies for the kids. All you snack time moms and stuff like that. We got stuff for you guys for that. You know, we work with chiropractors and doctors, and there's all types of people. Rich is eating an apple right now. You know, it's things like this. You know, Alfred Goodlow works works with the milk. You know, we know about it, guys. We got connections, you know what I'm saying? And we know about trying to help these kids and getting them more positive, you know. So thank you, Beth, and Sports Moms. So shout out to Sports Moms. They're always doing their thing. Beth, do you have anything else you would like to say, Beth?
Well, I would love for any of the sports moms out there to join me in my Sports Moms United closed Facebook group, because that's where the most engagement happens. And we're just there to support and encourage and give answers and resources for one another. It's a safe place to come and, you know, just be encouraged and to help one another. And I've got resources for sports moms for days. So we'd love to have them join me there.
Yes. So resources for sports moms for days. Sports Moms United is a business, and we are partnered. They are partnered with the Youth Sports Center and Athletic. Beth, are you in Kansas? We ain't in Kansas anymore. We ain't in San Diego anymore, y'all. We's in Kansas, baby. You know, we're in Kansas. What part of Kansas, Beth?
I'm in Topeka. I'm in the capital.
The capital of Kansas, for those geography people who may not even know that Kansas City is not the capital of Kansas. It's Topeka for those. And Lawrence is not the capital just because they play Jayhawk, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Are you a Jayhawk fan?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Look. So in Kansas, guys, remember, go to Sports Moms United, guys. Join up with Beth and what we're doing and the message to get it off. Join up with Rich Curry Athletic Initiative. Join up with AG Sports Production and Go Live Video Streaming. Team up with the Youth Sports Center, guys. We are pushing kids in a positive light. That's what this is about. This isn't about me being a star. I think people get you know, because I'm good with the microphone. Rich calls me gold mouth because I talk and I'm doing and I'm good with what I know how to do. And maybe you don't like how I put it out there. Too bad. This ain't for you. This is for these kids out here. This your boy Reed Dudley, man, and we live, baby, out here in the Microsoft store, and we cares zero about what you think if you ain't helping these kids. So I suggest you get off your butt and stop talking so much Facebook trash and start helping out with these kids. We got Beth in the building with Rich. Nonprofits, we ain't playing. We come in and we grouped up. This is community business. This is community love. Rest in love, Mike Murphy. Rest in love, TA, man. We gonna miss you guys, man, but we gonna take it from here, man. Skyline forever, man. This is your boy Reed Dudley. Shout out to my guy Tashawn Johnson, Rod Williams out there at Step Academy, man, who hold me down, man. I appreciate everything y'all do, man. We out. Rich Curry, you got some shout outs? Live right now, y'all. Youthsportscenter, greatness allowed. We've been following this young man since about the 7th, 8th grade. Now he's the top quarterback at Helix High School. Carson Baker, baby. What's going on, Carson? Now, Carson, what you got to tell the Youthsportscenter kids that's out there, man, that we focused on when they little? I try to tell these parents and tell them that you got to get with the Youthsportscenter so you can get more highlights, get yourself more information, get your name out there.
Yeah, at Youthsportscenter, best in the business, man. Covering all youth sports. You know, Los Toros the best, though.
Yeah. You know he had to throw that shot out there. You know he had to throw the Los Toros shot out there. Shout out Carson Baker, former Los Toros quarterback, now Helix High School quarterback, CIF championship. They looking for it, baby. This your boy Reed Dudley. You know we grew up in Skyline, but we still up here at Helix. Turn it up. Carson Baker, baby.
Watching the Youthsportscenter.
Turn up. Calvin Johnson, baby.
All right. Welcome back to the Youthsportscenter. You can turn up or you can go ahead and turn off. I don't care which one you do, but pick one. It's not the Matrix, so maybe the blue pill. No? Okay, here we go. So, for RBI this year, we have some new teams and people that have joined our community league. Yes, we had some people come from outside of our communities to join our league. So I'm going to give those people some shouts right now for the reviving baseball in the inner cities Major League Baseball youth and softball program that Athletic Initiative runs out of San Diego. Our fields: Kalina Park, Oak Park, Troy's Lake North, Golden Hills Rec. Salute to you and the partnership. The new teams in the senior league: Chula Vista High School Green Sox, Coach Ralph Fernandez. Pleasure to have you. Welcome to RBI. Bam. Word up. Modern Day High School, Coach Ray with the Bonita Legends Baseball Club. Welcome to have you. Congratulations. Welcome to RBI. Coach Josh Mathis, Crawford High School. Always present, always on time. Senior League RBI. Welcome to have you. And last but not least, the judge, Judge Gallagher. He's a criminal judge in the San Diego court system. He runs a baseball team. This is California Baseball Academy, CBA. Coach Judge Gallagher, love to have you in the senior league. Welcome to RBI. The judge coming from the beach area joining. We also have a couple more, and I'll give this to Reed. We got Toby McGrath Y, South Bay Y, Azalea Park, Golden Hills, also joining RBI. MCRD for softball, and the Little Sluggers.
Hey, yo, he get them all in there right there real quick for y'all. That's all the baseball kids right there. And we back. Beth, say your website for us, please, real loud. Let everybody know.
It is so simple. It is just sportsmomsunited.com.
Sportsmomsunited.com. Please go check it out. There you go. Boom. Sports Moms in the building. That's their logo. You guys will see it on our opening. We like to give a great thanks, man, to everybody who put in the time today to help make this thing pop. We like to shout out Anthony Vaughn, once again, Alfred Goodlow. Go ahead, check out Show Host Rich on Facebook. Reed Dudley is filled up. I got a lot of friends. You guys go ahead and go to the Youthsportscenter Grid News and the information if you guys want to see me. Whatever. Sports Moms United. Rich with the paper thing up. Thank you, Beth, for joining us today at Sports Moms. Thank you, Beth. Sports Moms United. They were live. Hey, we got to get up out of here, you guys. Thank you for joining us once again. This has been show number 5, Rich and Reed. Yo, we out.
You're watching the Youthsportscenter.